It's time for our technology report, and joining us now is our tech reporter, Paul Ndiho. Paul.
Hello, Esther. Excited to be here. African entrepreneurs, Silicon Valley investors, and others gathered recently in California to talk about the state of entrepreneurship on the African continent and what is needed for businesses to thrive there. Michelle Quinn has our report.
At the Computer History Museum in the heart of Silicon Valley, people gathered recently at the African Diaspora Investment Symposium to talk about the future of Africa business.
In the past, many Africans, and especially people like me from the diaspora, were not invited to the table to really discuss on issues that matter to the continent. So we said, well, what if we can just bring everyone together so we can have that discussion at the same table?
Remittances, money sent by people living in the U.S. to family in Africa, has long been a key way to support the continent, speakers said. But Nagash and others said there are other uses of diaspora funds.
How do we scale remittances so that it can also be invested in other people than our family, supporting startups? While
many investors and businesses want to come to Africa, it can be a challenge to navigate, which is why African nations have been working on the African Continental Free Trade Area, said Joseph Matura, Google's first sub-Saharan African lead and now a minister in the Kenyan government.
How do they, with the different regulations, different countries, be able to get into the continent? So we are providing the platform that they can now use. They come, and as part of the Continental Free Trade Area, they're able to then go to many of the other different markets.
For the roughly 50 African entrepreneurs attending the event, this was an opportunity to pitch their businesses. Abubakar Kamara, an architect from Guinea, is working on a housing startup.
We're implicating people in the process of actually building their homes. We want to change the concept of what is architecture, because architecture has a lot to do with your identity.
Nainik Holis is the chief executive of a sports technology company in South Africa.
We have a smart wearable that is sewn to the garments around the joint ankles of the athletes' garments.
Barbara Burangi Mutabazi runs Uganda Women in Technology, which trains female students and young women for technology jobs like coding.
Yeah, I've made some really good connections, especially in terms of fundraising.
And I'm proud to be a second-generation family business leader.
For many of the attendees, the event was a welcome chance to talk about Africa's successes. Thelma Akeyor runs a Nigeria-based business accelerator and an investment fund for women-run businesses.
I think one of the problems that Africa's had for years is we tend not to talk about the progress and the developments that are happening on the continent. So it's been a pleasure to come here and share with people that live here in the valley about the work that we're doing.
The connections made at this event can be long-lasting as people look for ways to be part of the burgeoning African business sector. Michelle Quinn, VOA News, Mountain View, California.
Well, Esther, that's our tech reporter today. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Paul. All right, be sure to join Paul Ndiho each Wednesday for the latest in technology news.